Ladies and gentlemen,
Damas y caballeros.
estamos aquí.
Hold on, wait.
Wow. You guys see it right there on the screen. Triplemania 33. Let's get it, y'all. We'll be turning our cameras on shortly. Don't you guys worry. Oh, yeah.
Chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight. Whether it's in the bloodline or corporate, walk me out the arena, big smile, long handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters.
There it is, man. Razor. What's the word, brother? How you feeling today, man? How you feeling today, brother? We good out there? We good? Estamos bien? Estamos bien?
I am ecstatic. I feel after that show and after a very intriguing UFC pay-per-view, I feel rejuvenated.
Oh yeah, so do I. I'm
A
not
lot of
gonna
sports
lie.
this weekend. Football is back. Baseball's in full swing. NBA schedules are out.
I missed a little bit of SmackDown and Raw, but I'ma just like run by what I did see. I seen Seth Rollins got a fatal 4-way match. I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about that. And then we got like some Vince McMahon as booking. Pardon me. Let me take this off the screen for a second. We got some Vince McMahon as booking on SmackDown, and which like I was telling Streets yesterday. I think if I'm a kid, my inner kid is like I'm jumping for joy. I get to see my favorite superstars. I get to see Jimmy Uso, Jacob Fatu. Maybe you might have a kid that got a Sami Zayn toy out there. They might be Sami Zayn kid, you know what I'm saying? So if you're a kid, like I understand. The adult in me is just like, okay, this was a cool.
I just want to know, how does Jey Uso fall into this rematch thing?
Man.
The man comes to help Punk and LA Knight, and that's what gives him a title match. Oh, all right. Or does that appear still on the "today is not normal" spiel?
Like I said, I didn't get to really watch that episode because I believe I was in Atlantic City that day, so I didn't really get to catch Raw like that. But I seen the news. I was reading stuff online, seeing that was going down. But I seen the LA Knight stuff, and that was pretty like okay. Him seeing Punk going back and forth. I kind of enjoyed what they were doing. My only issue with what they did on Monday, it felt too much improv. It felt like they went out there with no direction. Like what I remember from the promo was like CM Punk saying, "Oh well, you shouldn't even be mad because I saved you." And I think I remember texting you about no, not the favors again, man. Not favors stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Had this been just regular one-on-one, and we get some chicanery at the PLE, all right, cool. But this is just a mess. I will say
unpopular.
this:
Go ahead.
you got to watch the New Day and Grayson Waller stuff. That stuff is very entertaining.
I mean, I'm messing with it. Don't get me wrong. Like I enjoy how, and then we kind of see Queenie. I see you out there. Appreciate you. We kind of see a crossover kind of happening on SmackDown now with Miz and Truth. I mean, not Truth. Miz and Carmelo Hayes with this with going to the GMs and getting matches and stuff. I've been enjoying what the New Day and Grayson been doing over on Raw. It's just that main event scene. It's been kind of like. But like I was gonna say, hot take, maybe unpopular. This is the time, and this is the only time. If we don't give LA Knight the championship here, bro. If LA Knight does not get the championship in this moment, bro, I don't want to see him anywhere near it. My brother Streets, how you feeling, bro?
I feel the same way you do. If he doesn't get it right here, I don't want to see him nowhere near it.
Yeah, bro. Like it's getting ridiculous to again, where we was at was that I was trying to touch on what happened on Raw and SmackDown before we get into Triple H. So you just walked in at the right time. But from what I remember seeing in that promo, they started talking about favors again. Streets favors, man. Oh well, I did you the favor not letting you get your head caved in by Seth Rollins and squashed
Yes,
like a
yeah.
coconut. It was just like, bro, the promo felt like, and I know that both of them are better than that. So I was surprised that like, but they was it's just it's a mess. Like Razor ended up saying, it's a mess. How you feeling about that fatal four way those streets? Razor gave us his opinion. I just said mine's. What you feeling about that fatal four way, man?
Like,
Who
I
would you
feel like it
like to
was.
see? You want to see Seth Rollins keep that right there?
Yeah, I want to see Seth keep it. I think the Fatal Four Way will be cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool. Just to I feel like again they're pandering to what the audience is. I'm not looking at it through the eyes of like a younger person. When I was young, like I heard you say this the other day, HD. All my favorite people are wrestling. If I was a kid, like, whoa, you got, LA Knight, you got, Seth Rollins, you got all these big names in there, and it's just like, wow, it's over the top. But for somebody who's been watching for some years, to us, it's kind of like, come on with, what I'm saying? This is kind of like we already know the outcome. I feel like, and we're kind of already like, whatever, we're past it. But like you said, for like the younger generation, I feel like they're like, this is cool. This is, what I mean? This is their Stone Cold, Rock, Mankind, Undertaker.
Big
That's what it.
Show, yeah, just like
That's
all
what it
the
is for them. You know what I mean? Like, and it sucks that that's unfortunately some of the storylines take a hit because of that. You know what I mean? But there was definitely times on where we had matches that was just like, come on, you throwing in, this wrestler to fight, you had, and then even what's crazier is they actually have characters that stick. We had, these, you know, jobbers that would come in, you know what I mean? And you've seen, Batista or Shawn Michaels wrestle this person you've never heard of. He washes this bum up, super kicks him, gets him out of there. You never see that person again. You don't see a lot of that nowadays. You see a lot of people who are already, established or becoming part of the company and the business. You don't really see that. So I think that, how they're working it right now, yeah, we're getting tired of it, but I think that they're just pandering to what the fans want and giving them, to a point, they're giving them what they want and kind of pandering maybe to the younger audience. But I feel like the bigger PLEs where something might change, I feel like that's more for the adults. Not for the adults, but more for the diehards who are like, all right, the stories finally came to a head. Let's see how this is gonna unfold. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you on that same kind of wave of booking the favorite superstar. We seen the same thing on SmackDown. The MFTs and Solo's group, going against Jacob,
Mhm.
Jimmy, and Sami Zayn. Could that be a preface for them, for us seeing one big final bloodline match, maybe with Roman at the head and Solo at the head?
I think so. I think that's the only place that it has to go to. And once he establishes dominance over the MFTs and Solo and everybody else,
I mean, once
then we can get
again,
into the conversation of him versus Rocky. You know what I mean?
Because I'm not
so,
gonna lie,
so
it's
he got to beat up on Solo again.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Solo came. But time out. But Solo came with bigger, bigger and badder people now. Not bigger and badder than Roman, but obviously bigger than Roman and
Yeah,
somebody
and,
who's
and, and
now.
he just let the leash off on one of the baddest motherfuckers walking God's green earth.
Yeah, he did. He did. He did. He did. But that's what makes it interesting because now it's like,
And there's another one that's apparently one call away.
yeah, you seen that? Yeah, call me. Zilla waiting. Look, I'm ready, Oos.
I
So
feel like the visual presentation matters. Like seeing them all wear different outfits against the MFTs is kind of like, I know they're not a group, right? I
yeah,
understand that. I don't expect a shirt, but at least like all on the same kind of page in terms of we wearing the same color,
yeah.
right?
Kind
Like
of
you
like
see,
if you like the go ahead, my bad, my brother, go ahead.
nah, yeah, like
He just want to bring out that Sammy Uso shirt up for the one time.
at least give us a head nod that something might happen. It just feel
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
it's
Jimmy
still
never got
forming. Yeah, yeah,
Jimmy never got his footing with his singles run, so it's like
yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing with him? That's what I'm
Yeah, I ain't
thinking.
gonna lie, that too. Yeah, because they should have been gave him the push. He sat back quietly and has done his thing. You know what I mean, and not complained. and you know what I mean. But I feel
Very,
like
very
that.
quality.
Yeah, they got to give him his brother's entrance music is turned up. They got to give him better entrance music. They got to give him a better outfit. You know what I mean? They got to do something. You know what I mean to kind of like turn that up. So when you go to see, you're not just like I'm ready for the Yeet show. Jimmy's here, like, yay, I'm ready for the Yeet show. You know what I mean? Like it has to be
Right.
something that's gonna bring you there too, and that's cool. But just shout out to Jim just for not being a jealous person of your brother, or your family members, or anybody else. You kind of just playing your part and having a good time and still keeping a smile. So shout out to him, man. He's awesome for playing that role and being a support system for his group. You know what I mean? His for his family.
Not for
But
his
they do.
group, for his wife too.
That's what I'm saying for his family. You know what I'm saying? But they need to turn him up. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to turn him up. They need to turn him up.
We're
One
gonna
time.
see what's gonna happen in a few coming weeks. We got that clash in Paris happening at the end of the month, August 31st. So, you know, throughout the next 2 weeks, we're gonna see where these storylines go. Basically, we got Cena burning an appearance on Logan Paul, so we got
And
that to
we
watch for.
this half of September we got Brock sightings apparently.
Hmm It's a few
Dun,
things
dun,
to
dun,
watch
dun,
for.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
But tonight, though, WWE switched it up. We all here for one reason, really, and it's Triple Mania. WWE started off tonight with La Copa Bardahi. Did I say that right, Razor? I might have
Lord have
botched it,
mercy.
damn, but yeah, we got it though. The
It's a battle
Copa.
royal, folks.
It's a battle royal. You can win
For
by
what
pin,
at first what I
submission,
thought
elimination.
was, hey, she remember the Mae Young Classic trophy?
I still don't even know what the hell it's for. I'm gonna be honest. What was this battle royal for?
I kind of missed part of it. It's just an annual tradition thing. Just this is this year's winner. This year's Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner.
Okay, I can understand that. They just
Okay.
kind of doing some stuff. You know what I mean? I can understand that. Gives
But
again, it gives all the who doesn't like seeing tons of wrestlers in the ring. You never know who's gonna come out the winner.
and this is exactly what it was. We
Yeah,
getting the
And,
party started.
yeah, and
yeah,
I'm glad
yeah,
you
yeah, for
mentioned that,
sure.
Streets, because the first entrance was La Parka.
Yeah, which was dope. And he didn't like he missed a step. I ain't gonna lie, La Parker looked like he's still young. Like he was still moving
Well,
around,
no, well, no, hold
dancing and
on.
sprightly when he was coming out. When he
We
was
need the historian Razor to educate us here because
What the
he has
Parker
the lineage.
version
Yeah,
like 500. We don't get into that. All we need to know is that Parker's back. But
yes.
Ish, you not spoken this off air. Uh, AAA and CMLO once upon a time they would often trademark a lot of music. I don't know if you guys saw when the Parker came back to take on Vampiro, but oh boy came out the Thriller.
Oh,
I
that's
was
cool.
hoping to hear that, but I was like, wait a minute, WWE ain't paid for shit. We got Def
Nah.
Rebel. Fuck.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. Not
I
Michael
was
Jackson,
sad.
bro. Like,
I
it's too
was sad.
much.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's too much
I
chicken.
got my hopes up because they had a little inkling in the very beginning. I was like, oh wait a minute, this is Def Rebel. Shit,
Yeah.
I better sit my ass down.
Well, I mean, if they made a lot of money out of Triple Mania, putting somebody's name like that could take away some of that sales because you got to pay for, the rights to use it and stuff. And it's like, we'll keep you off the big one. Maybe the smaller one, you know what I mean? But the big one that's gonna go crazy, and this is the first one too. It's like,
Right, right.
let's go ahead and play it safe, play it for the green dollars, dollar bills, y'all.
On the theme, on the theme of the first, this is my first time seeing this type of match where like you got eliminations over the top, but you also have pinfall and submissions,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you switch it up. It's not even 30 competitors like a traditional
Mhm.
Royal Rumble match. They
This
have
is what
14
12, maybe
entrants.
13.
Yeah,
It's
like
pretty
13,
cool.
14. Yeah, so it was short. It had everything that the type of fun the Royal Rumble would have.
Yes, for sure.
And I like that added twist of a pin and submission because it also allows for any kind of superstar to win the match under any kind of circumstances. You feel me? And to me, the highlight of the night, man. Let me put this on the screen, cause I might be going overboard, but
I had a
this
few
made my
highlights. Notes.
night.
Which one do you go? Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. This right here.
The greatest matchup since Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
Standing at 7 foot, who knows how much, the Giant Omos. Standing at 3 feet tall, one of the greatest luchadors on all of Mexico, Mr. Microman.
Bro, When I tell you, they had this little guy come out, and I was just like, man, things are gonna get crazy. Then about what was it? A few entr No, it was the very next one. Then you see Omos come out. It's like, bruh, oh my.
Yeah,
Then your
that was
mind starts
crazy.
working like,
Well,
but the way
before we do
everybody
that,
lined up,
the
it was
the
funny as
crowd
hell,
reception to Omos.
bro. That's what we was talking about. All right, so let's get into that. Razor that, cause yo, Streets, you had missed it, but before we was right in the studio, and you know how I always ask y'all a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I asked basically, how did you feel about WWE's imprints, they handprints all over this uh show right here, this PLE pay per view, whatever you want to call it, and you got superstars like Omos. This is the first match of the night, and arguably the biggest moment is Otis, also from WWE. Omos, right here, standing tall, face to face with Micro Mini Man, right here.
You mean face to shin?
You feel me? Like,
Yeah,
but to raise this point though, the reception was, bro. When's the last time we seen Omos on WWE programming, bro?
yeah, it's been a minute, bro.
And I watched every. I haven't seen him at all, and what it's got to be close to almost like 7 to 8 months, maybe even longer than that. He went undefeated in Japan as a tag team champion, dropped the belts. We were told he was coming back. We were hoping for Rumble, hoping for Mania. We were past SummerSlam. We bring him back as an ambassador for the partnership. I'm not mad at it, but okay.
Yeah,
Now my thing is this: I always had high hopes for Omos because I felt like the wrestling I grew up on, rest in peace Hulk Hogan, rest in peace Andre the Giant. That was like one of the most ran back clips of my childhood. Hulk Hogan allegedly
body
for the first time,
slamming.
yeah, the body slamming
Yeah,
the
The
Giant.
first
I,
body slam that was
yeah,
actually like the fifth body slam.
You feel me? Like, but
yeah.
that was like the most. So I feel like that's lost on us. Like we got all these moments with, like somebody would just pick up Omos and put him in a soup. Like one of the most devastating moves there. Like
Yeah.
with no fight to it. You feel me? Like, and I just think this is a great way to introduce him. But
With
to
that,
answer,
I gotta cook him real quick though.
hmm
Streets.
What's good?
Tonga got a better choke slam than Omos right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. His choke slam was sloppy. Yeah, it needed some work. Him and
This is
Tonga
what
need to go to the
happens
same
when you
development
take
league.
away the man's reps. He was doing just fine in Japan.
Yeah.
and y'all gotta stay tuned, chat. Tyler Tongue is another topic right there for the sidebar quest. I seen the post on Reddit, people saying he's one of the most underwhelming signings. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something to discuss right there.
It
Gotta
is. It
look at
is.
we gotta
I'll look
look at
into
what he's
that.
done so far, yeah. But right here, like I said, Omar's picking up the victory. I thought this was a great way to start off the show. The last few people to get eliminated were Octagon Jr. by Omos and La Parka by Omos, making Omos the winner. Honorable mention, Otis got eliminated by Microman.
Yeah, which was crazy, but it was cool.
It was a cool little victory right there for him. He took out the
Yeah.
big man Otis.
Facts. Facts.
You don't want to touch on Otis and Pimply having a moment or a few.
Oh, that was crazy.
Go ahead. Lead us off. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I was hoping you're gonna take the hot tag, but okay, I'll tag myself back in.
Funny.
Let's see how do let's see. Okay, so full disclaimer. Yes, this is the first match of the night. HE and I, we already accepted we may get in trouble for some of the shit we may say on this program. But unlike Triplemania, not one little person was affected during the filming of this product.
Screaming. So let's dive into it, man. This is off the hip. how do we feel about the spot with Otis and
Where he picked
Pimp?
up like a soccer ball
No,
down
no,
here,
no.
or like a newspaper.
Otis and Pimpinelli. The whole whatever happened in that segment right there. Now I ain't gonna lie, it had me laughing. It was funny. I was like, Streets, you see what's going on here? Like,
Now we did see something similar back in the day with the likes of Enrico Constantino, especially with Charlie Haas, bless his soul. So to some older fans, this is nothing new. If this is your first time watching it,
Yeah,
you'll be
man.
fine.
so what I'm gonna ask is, do you think WWE is using AAA as a ground to kind of do some of the things they used to do back in the day? I remember we speaking before we got on the show, like you said, we've seen characters like this before. We've seen the Gorgeous Georges, the Gold Dust, the flamboyant characters, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got like we seen the giant, the flamboyant character, and the little person all in the match today. Something that you don't really see
I think they came one after the other too.
for real, right? Like you get all of these spots in one match, and I feel like that's something that in WWE's main programming on the Royal Rumble may be hard to pull off. A regular
Well,
battle royal on a
in,
PLE is
in in
hard,
this rendition, it seems hard, but again, and not long ago to the Vince era, this was almost the norm.
right?
When you
Yeah.
look at Hornswoggle, Big Dick Johnson, Mae
Hornswoggle.
Young,
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And then also, it, it's the obvious, but for the not so smart fans in the room or the watchers, the viewers, it has a lot to do with sponsorships. Me and Razor was also talking about, like, you got Slim Jim on the middle of the floor, right? They're not gonna want certain things on their programming. We seen
Yeah,
on
for sure.
SmackDown they got King of the Hill now. Like they strategically place these sponsors and ads. And today on AAA we got some Fireball. I didn't really get to catch the other ones, but I felt like they were more adult sponsors. So I think AAA we getting to push the envelope there, which I think may make for a good fun watch. If people's interested, you didn't catch AAA is able for a rewatch on YouTube. Check it out right after y'all done hearing us talk about it. And man, that was a good way to start off the show right there, in my
Yeah, for
opinion.
sure. For sure.
We moved on to the second match of the night, the Triple A Latin American Championship. El Messias, the champion, entering in some cold ass Doctor Doom gear. Do I have that up
Yeah,
here
that was
right?
fire.
Like, do I have that queued
That
up
was
somewhere?
fire.
Because bro, that was
Nash
I'm
him
not
on the
gonna
schmegular.
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, it was cool though. For the people who just now had, you got to think about, like you said, strategic, placement of things. With the movie getting ready to come out, for somebody who
Correct.
doesn't know,
Mhm.
about this, or it's your first time watching, Triple Mania, you're sitting up here like, wow, this is super dope. This character is really, embodying Doctor Doom. This is cool. I want to maybe follow this character, but because obviously Doctor Doom is a big bad, but he's a big bad that everybody likes to follow and see what his next move is going to be. And with that movie coming up, this is just smart marketing on their part and on his part as well. It's
And
cool.
al-
See,
and also Triple, they've done work with Marvel Comics in Mexico in the past as well. So this is jump over to DC or even back to Marvel. This is nothing new. So they've had these talks before. I'm sure they've already had stuff planned way in advance. Again, like I said, great marketing.
great marketing, sure.
But he was taking on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. with his father, Dr. Wagner Jr., sitting ringside. He started in the fur coat, right, HD?
Yep. He started there. That's not where he ended, folks.
Screaming. Cheers,
Bro,
everybody.
I no, I seriously love how he was incorporated throughout the whole match because it's kind of like they showed him there right before the match started. This is where the not so smart fan in me was just watching. Okay, they got the other dude. What's the other guy that came out with Messiah's name? His
Oh, Dorian
manager.
Rodan. So basically, let's see, how would I put this in current terms? He'd be like Nick Khan coming out for Seth Rollins instead of Paul Heyman.
And here he goes antagonizing, interfering in the match. Wagner Jr. sitting there in the crowd, like, oh, he's up in arms. He's yelling at the commentators. He's yelling at Conan. Conan is talking his crap. Like, man, don't make me get out
Conan
on
had beef
time,
with
man.
Wagner back in the day.
Yeah,
Wagner
like,
had beef with Macias back in the day. He just wants to smoke with both of the OGs.
and I like how JBL mentioned it was like just to like that's good commentary on his behalf. It was a bit it was an ugly match, right? It wasn't nothing pretty. You had Masai more of like a bruiser, a striker, a brawler con, and Alijo that Wagner Jr. He's more like a cruiser. You know, I get he gives me Humberto vibes, like a taller dude that could get around the ring, a hybrid almost. But man,
Mhm.
Massage was doing a good job at like not letting him get no offense in most of the match. Like he was really chopping him down. Clash of Styles. It was like great storytelling. I didn't know anything prior to this match where their story was at,
The
and I
the
felt like,
story was
hmm
basically Junior inheriting his daddy's beef with an old op.
right, and it just felt like watching this match right here. It helped at least catch me up to okay, why things are happening in this match. Okay, that makes sense. That was
And,
right.
and the other
Properly
half of the
done.
story was in several points in his career, Macias has dropped that same belt to now both of them at Triple Mania.
Crazy. And then this is Son's
That is
first
crazy.
championship as well
Yep.
in AAA. Ali Hold at Wagner Jr. So it's just a lot of great things that came out of that match, in my opinion, storytelling wise. Like if you went into the story, again, the match wasn't one of the most prettiest of the night, but again, it didn't need to be.
If you like a Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre banger, then this is right up your alley.
There you go. The next match of the night, we had the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Raquel, alongside Raquel, not Raquel, Roxanne, pardon me, versus Nino Hambeguesa, Mr. Iguana, and Lola Vice. How you guys felt about this match?
I feel like it was fire. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Lola Vice. That outfit was banging. Shout out to all the females. They all did their thing, man. Roxanne came, did her thing, of course. I thought it was cool. I think it's always cool when you see, a high energy match. You know what I'm saying? Especially
I'm
mixed
there
tag.
with
So
you.
I feel like it was dope. What did you feel about it?
I know I'm there with you. I agree. I felt like everybody showed out. Like this is personally my first time watching Hamburger Boy work. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
was cool. I like his gimmick. Like he's kind
Yeah.
of like a Otis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He displays some athleticism out there. Raquel doing her usual. She looks better every time I see her out there. She just looks more comfortable and more comfortable. So does
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
Listen, how can we forget about the one of the best spots of the night here, right? Like, come on. I said the other spot, but come on now. Come on, y'all.
San Benito.
Come on, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, that was funny.
Come on.
That was fire.
That was one of the
That's
better.
fire.
Like it was again. This is what wrestling should be. If we not going, because I was thinking this to myself, bro. And maybe we discuss this at a larger scale some other time. But like, when did wrestling become so anal? Where like, oh, this person has to be so believable. Where oh nah, he's been on a losing streak. Or like, things used to be
Well,
fun, bro. Things
fun.
weren't
Remember,
so
I'm gonna tell you when it happened.
yeah.
Not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you when this happened, man. When everybody started using the real names. I've spoke on this before. We grew up on the Mankind's, the Undertakers, Vaders. You know what I'm saying? Like the different people when they had like a gimmick. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's cool to see Mr. Iguana and like you said, different characters coming into the fold now, and it makes it to where, like you said, it's more entertaining, and it's maybe showing people it doesn't always have to be so serious, like you said, so straight up your name. You're just wrestling this storyline. It can be fun.
Yeah.
Wrestling, it can be fun. You can laugh. You come to a show. I thought, when
You
you
want to
came
be
to a show,
entertained.
yeah, back in the day, you got entertained. Whether it was oh my God, this happened, or you're laughing, or you're cheering, or booing, or you're crying because somebody, didn't make it. They're doing a 10 bell count. You're supposed to be some type of emotion. Doesn't always have to be just a storyline that you're watching, like it's a movie or a TV show. Sometimes we can get caught up in that, and I think that it's cool for them to hit that reset button and put some characters back in the mix. The Doink the Clowns. They're like, come on, man. I was cool as a kid playing the WWE game, and he's sitting there, Undertaker shooting the demon dogs out at you, Doink the Clowns pulling out a big mallet, Razor, Ramones pulling out the toothpick, you know what I mean? Or his arm is, it was just a cool time. So I felt like, even Mankind, it was,
Bro.
come
I
on,
think
man.
this is a
Characters
creative
help.
way to give a head nod to like maybe we go back to this. Oh, we know y'all been
Yeah.
asking for this.
Yeah, man.
This type of wrestling allows to explore these things. I said like
What?
we talk about the more seriousness is
Mhm.
like, oh nah, they gotta go out there and just be either bad guys or
Yeah.
overly good guys. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that can change. And like I said, like the name too. Like, I think that with John Cena leaving, he's actually a wrestler who used his real name, John Cena. So maybe when he leaves, that legacy and all that will leave with him. And like you said, it'll be like, okay, let's maybe go back to what we're trying. Let's try some stuff.
I mean, Triple H seems like they one of the promotions that jump out to me the most in terms of having characters in, or even Mexico. Period. Like,
Yeah,
the people have names, but even the names that they have, it's like I've always used Rey Mysterio as a great example. Like, it sound like a first name, last name, but in Spanish, it's like the translation is the mysterious king. You know what I'm saying?
that's fire. Yeah, for sure, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah. Hey,
So,
shout out to my dog, Rey Mysterio, 619 in the building. And also shout out to since we talking about names, shout out to my dog Jacob Fatu, the who? Samoan werewolf. Hey, yo, Jacob, I need one in mask, baby. I need one in mask, baby, in a jacket, man. It's fire.
I
Your
mean,
boy preach me one.
speaking of needed masks, we got this screen just to put a knot on there. How you guys feeling that they did take advantage? And I'm hearing, I don't know for a fact, I'm hearing, I seen on social media, the dollar's on sale for $100. Streets
The
razor.
doll's on sale for 100.
Let me
Hey,
let me
look,
check Debbie Shop right now. Let's see.
no, it could
There
be
it
no
is.
$100 is a bit much, but hey, if it's a specialty item, I know people who pay hundreds of dollars for shoes, and if you're in the lifestyle and you want to collect, hey, it's fire. Labubus right now, Labubus,
Yep,
yo, I got
they
four
going on.
kids, and they're going crazy, and they all want Labubus, so it's
Oh
like,
man.
yeah, so it's like $100 in comparison. I mean, that's kind of the going rate for stuff right now for these toys for these kids is 50 to $100 for anything that's cool. So I guess
It is
whoever,
$100.
yeah, if you want it, hey, you got to get it. You got to peel for it. You want it, you got to peel for it. But how cool would that be? You know what I mean? You know it's gonna sell out. You know it's gonna sell out.
The Demonito.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
Demonito.
sell out.
this match, I feel something that WWE can learn from as a whole because in most of the matches, there's a good match and then there's always a dead zone where shit's sloppy, whatever. People go to sleep. Whereas in Mexico, matches that were designated to be the just dead zone filler matches, the crowd never just let up. They were just right rowdy as the next match, and
Yeah,
these were no exceptions. So maybe Triple H can take some notes instead of putting matches that are going to be a snooze fest. Keep the party going.
facts. Keep the party going. Ain't
I
nothing
mean,
wrong with that.
that's where I'm at. Like, they took us on a roller coaster. Like, the first three matches is like, I don't want to say that the Triple A match was a a bring down, but in terms of style of pace in the match, it bring the emotion down, and then this match bring up the laughter and the entertainment once again. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they did a good job with bringing us on that ride, and then we get the next match of the evening, which was the Triple A World Tag Team Championships, Psycho Clown and Pagano versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo right there. Um, I was telling Razor this earlier. I'm my appetite for that type of destruction streets is kind of going away. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm starting to not really care for the tables, ladders, the chairs always being in usage unless it's called for. They kind of like Razor mentioned to me pre coming on to the show. They kind of announced there was a street fight match. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I didn't realize until they put the match on there. I was like, "It's a street
Yeah.
fight."
Um, you know, I'll say this too. I'm not gonna hate on it. It don't really bother me. I know that again, these new generation of WWE fans, and these new generation of kids, they don't have the ECWs. They don't have the WCWs. They just got they do, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the AEWs and whatnot, but they just don't have it like how we could have it back in the day. And you really got to see it. You were seeing like classic matches. So coming from that where we grew up on to now they're doing stuff like this is like I'm kind of tired of it. You know what I mean? I've been there, done that, seen everything that can be done. But I mean, for these new kids, they don't have that. So I feel like
Or
they're just trying to pander to them and give them something to be able to just that they did do or they did see. You know what I mean? I think that's just what they're doing right now.
to sprinkle a little bit of salt on that wound that Aishi then opened up his own self. Let me make it worse.
Mhm.
I think WWE's style of these stipulations isn't helping their case because the
Mm.
most violent thing we've seen was Becky, Lara, and the zip ties ended up breaking.
Yeah, they want to. They want to do. They want to have hardcore stuff, but they really want to. We live in a really crazy time. Could you imagine right now you cutting on WWE and Damian Priest going up to somebody and putting them on a cross and raising it up? You
I
know what I
mean,
mean? What like could you
the other show had folks setting folks on fire.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, could you imagine, like, it's just a lot of controversial things.
I'm
Like,
gonna
people
say
don't have
this
as thick skin as they used to back then.
to put a little positive on it compared to what we seen. You said the Lara and
Becky,
Becky match that night specifically. We seen a shitload of hardcore matches.
yeah,
Good on
Mhm.
WWE for making at least these spots the only spots of the night.
Mhm.
right.
Whether you enjoy it or not, it wasn't flooded throughout the whole match. You see everybody going for tables. They know the
Mhm.
audiences, and we want tables. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different audience. Y'all move how y'all move, and it kind of fit. Like you got Psycho Clown in there, so I kind of get it. Like you know what I'm saying? They like you said, you want to tend to the little crazies out there too that like
Mhm.
the hectic environment. I get it because the end of the match was fire. They wrapped Humberto up in the barbed
Oh yeah,
wire.
and they flipped over
Getting
the
the Spanish
top.
fly.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, I
But
thought that
again,
was good finish right there.
yeah, for sure, man, for sure it was.
What you was gonna say though?
No, just again, I think that they with the whole Lyra thing with her arms, just to touch on that briefly. You know what I'm saying? I think again they just played that safe. They didn't want to go too crazy with it, And they already pushed homeboy's wife off the ladder. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they already had a big,
Oh
spot
yeah.
too. So it's like they didn't want to maybe go too crazy with it, or risk her really getting zip tied and couldn't get out. You know what I'm saying? Now you like, oh, I can't get out, and I'm gonna need the referee to do it, or you know what I mean? Just something that wouldn't go in line
But
with
you
the
kind of
storyline.
see the improv of these veterans here, where like maybe they didn't get the barbed wire on Humberto like they may have, but they
Mhm.
did things quickly, right?
Yes.
They got to the wrap them around. Let's get them off the top rope.
Hmm.
So you can see. Queso said, "I'm from the TLC ladder, so I love the bloodshed from back in the day more."
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
there you go. So I respect. So like, you would enjoy a show where like you said, TLC, a ladder match. You want a cage match in there.
Oh
You don't
yeah.
mind the. I mean, listen, if
That's me
it's all
too.
done
I'm
right,
agreeing with
yeah,
Queso on that one. I agree.
those matches was fire, but 3 stages of hell, Triple H, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels, yeah, man.
Yeah,
This
bring
is
that back. Bring back the blood. Bring back the, the hardcore. You always busted open. It, you know what I'm saying? I remember in video games, I couldn't wait to get in there, get underneath the ring, get a weapon, and see how long it was gonna take me before I split the person's head and they touch it like this and then pass out. And WC, remember that Nitro? And
yeah.
I'm talking about back in the day, but then even as
Oh
it
yeah.
progressed, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think it adds a cool little feature to it. Not all the time, you know what I mean? But that's kind of we went through an era, the attitude era, you know what I'm saying? We went through the craziness, you know what I'm saying? The stuff like that made us, you know what I mean? So it's cool. I'm with him on that. I want to see more stuff that would be
Okay.
there. But in its place, in its rightful place. Don't just,
There you
you know what I
go.
mean? Don't just be like this week it's this tag team and a TLC, and the next week a table match with this person, or this person has to bleed. Now this person has to bleed. Like, we don't need
So
it
with
like
that being
that.
said, as soon as the next Blood Triple guys is gonna be Seth and Punk or Seth and Roman.
Yeah, I could see Seth and Punk though. The blood. I mean, I can see both, but I think it would make more sense maybe to see him Punk and them, because it's like I had it and you stole it. I just got
It's
my
never gonna
hands
not be
on it.
personal.
Oh, I just got my hands on it, and now
Yeah.
you're taking it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool. I think I mean, obviously it would be the same way with Roman and him, but I don't know. I think it
I
would
mean,
be.
I'm not calling for it too, but there's some superstars that just made a career out of wearing the crimson mask, like Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh
Austin from time to
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Shoot,
was
even
just they
even
thing.
Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean?
Triple H. Just
Yeah.
they think sometimes, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Shoot,
Get a little color on that blonde hair.
you
Just
hear
does
me?
something to the crowd, you know what I'm saying?
When Shawn Michaels was in a puddle of his blood and he was getting beat up by the Undertaker, I was a Shawn Michaels fan. I was like, it's over, Michaels. It's over, Shawn. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know how you're gonna beat this man. He's beating you into a bloody pulp. And then out of nowhere comes Kane. But as a kid, it just made me tougher. Like, man, Shawn Michaels just got whooped. You know what I'm saying? He came in with a big band-aid the next, what I'm saying, time you seen him. So it's like, I think it would be cool.
I mean, all good points. Like maybe I was off a little bit. I just seen one thing in the match that kind of like I was like I told Razor, I was like that spot when he did the moonsault with the chair and the chair opened up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm like that right there was I was like, bro, maybe certain spots we don't need to like we could just hit him with the chair, but the flippings with the chairs and
Listen to this
certain
man.
things, I'm just
Listen
like,
to
I
this
don't
man.
know, man.
What would Mick Foley think about you saying this? Boy, are you
First off,
are you serious? Hey,
with all due respect, he makes
I
them
don't
to do
I
a
don't think
moonsault.
well, Mick Foley can do whatever. He damn near moonsaulted when he got thrown off the cage. When the Undertaker threw him off, if you look, as soon as he hit the table, plow, he flipped over. That was his moonsault. He
How
did a
many
fat
times
boy
does
moonsault.
Sabu go for the leg drop and miss and just the bobber just went whoop, right up his nuts?
his body say different right now though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching that with Age when that happened, and I was like, "Ooh!" I ain't gonna lie. It was a weird spot where I was like, I didn't want the entertainer to be hurt trying to entertain us, because then
That's my only concern, right?
you're gonna take longer to entertain us because you're gonna be hurt and you're gonna have to sit out when you could have just maybe, like HD said, did something to prevent that and just did something not so big and did something on a smaller scale, maybe multiple times over just one big spot that could be like, hey man.
Exactly, because we not preconditioned anymore. I remember back in the day, Kurt Angle could have a match with somebody in the ring. It's mostly a technical match, but when he climbs up to the cage, he's looking down at his opponent. Hell, even Shane McMahon would do it. He'll fight like a brawler style match, but when he goes to the top, that moment is always special. You know
Mhm.
they gonna do some death defying, high risk, moment making,
Don't let Jeff Hardy look up.
breathtaking. Yeah, even Jeff though, right? I give it to Jeff too. Feel like I could be wrong. Whisper in the wind and poetry in motion. Other than that, his finish is the Swanton bomb. That's 3. I don't really see him flipping out there. He another like He could brawl, throw some strikes, suplexes, twist of fate. Like his shit wasn't predicated off straight. Oh, I'm a springboard moonsault run. Like, you know what I'm saying? He
Okay,
had
look
that
at
in his game.
yeah, folks like Rob Van Dam, another one.
Rob Van Dam, he was just he was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he
Rob,
was.
I can't say nothing about Rob Van Dam. He's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah,
Like
Rob was jumping out the gym. He was.
I can't. Shout out to you, Rob. Like
Yeah,
that's my
look,
guy right there.
the
Yeah,
whole fucking show. You feel me? The whole effing show. Like he was cool, bro. He was a cool motherfucker back when people was, when wrestling wasn't maybe the coolest thing. He was like a cool motherfucker, bro. You just wanted
Rob,
to be
yeah.
like Rob Van Dam. Like he
Bro, I
was
used
just
to
that
think him and
motherfucker.
Claude were related, bro. 'Cause I used to watch
Yeah,
the
because it's so
movies.
motherfucker. Yeah,
They do the kind of
yeah,
MMA thing. I was just like, bro, this dude
yeah,
lit, bro. Like,
yeah. But again, a character, somebody you wanted to pull up and see. And I felt like again that makes wrestling sometimes is those characters, man. Like you want to put like I don't want to see no regular person named whoever. Like yeah, that could be my neighbor, that could be my cousin, somebody I know. I don't know a Mankind. I don't know Mr. Iguana. Where's he live at? He live under a rock somewhere with the iguanas. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Mankind lives in a boiler room. When you saw
that was fire, bro.
Every
Them
time
cutting his promos, like
what? Bro, he was in a boiler room squealing like a pig. Hey, pulling out his hair. Look, nigga pull out his hair, throwing it in the air, rocking. You know what I'm saying? He thought it was really crazy, bro. It's dark, it's sweaty and hot. It smelled like feet and ass in there. It's crazy, bro. That was his spot. Like you already knew what time. If it was a boiler room match, he was like, "Oh God, Mankind got the advantage. This is the nigga's house. You can fight in this nigga's living room. It's over."
I'm telling you, you ain't
We need
lying.
stuff like that.
We got 2 more matches, and the next match I kind of want to get into because it was I don't know where we was at, Streets. I think we might have been in different discords at this point, but we had the females Tripla Reina de Reinas Championship. Flammer versus Fabi and Natalia triple threat match. Now, there was a lot of things in this match that were good, but the one thing that was just weird to me was the referee spots. I did not get it. I was like, is this a crooked referee?
Yeah.
I heard the Nick Patrick reference. I'm like, bro,
oh my God. Yeah, the fast count, the fast count at the end. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was watching it at the end, I was like, hey, I swear to
Flag on the
God,
play,
bro. I said, hey, buddy couldn't have did that over here in the state. He couldn't have did that over here in the WWE.
Bro.
That boy was counting fast, and he did the 1, 2, 3. I'm like, hold on, buddy. Where's the 1, 2, 3? Nah, buddy was wrap it up. Wrap it up.
I see it's been a minute since y'all seen a genuine heel referee, huh?
Yeah, it's been. I ain't gonna lie, but you know what? Bravo to them because that's part of the storyline. Like, you know what I mean? Like those crooked referees that make you you hate them, and then you see them come out, and it's an important match. Your blood's already boiling. Like, they're gonna pull something, and you mother, and then something happens. You're like, there it is, and he's the one calling he's supposed to keep it clean. You're supposed to be fair and impartial. You're an official. You're supposed to wear the black and white to uphold the fairness of the game. Front. Yes, you're supposed to, you're supposed to keep it fair, But when they don't, it's like, oh, you're dirty. Like but it feeds into the storyline. So that I think that was a cool thing too. They working with something. Maybe WWE take little notes, and not y'all working. I ain't stealing. Y'all can borrow. Hey, since we family now, let me go ahead and use some of this that y'all doing, kind of revive the shit that we used to be doing. You know what I mean? Like,
bring back, cool. Hey, Trigger Lovers, bring back Brad Maddox.
Referees is gonna start popping out the woodworks like this these days. Like I got you.
Got him.
Got
you. Out of there. Oh, you can look. I ain't gonna lie. Dude's definitely counting the 3 fast. You can tell by buddy's haircut. He's counting to
Oh,
3
he
in
mad
1
right
second.
now.
Yes,
Oh,
for
he
sure.
mad. Like, oh yeah,
Somebody,
gotta
Three.
get him out of
somebody,
there.
He
somebody he
can
don't
pull a
like.
Biggie, hit you with the 5 count.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he gonna fuck around, get on
Oh
the ground
man.
slow. My back hurt, my knee hurt. To somebody he don't like. Yeah, he doing that.
But
Punk's,
what I thought was
Punk's
fun with
pulling
this
that.
match was for the last few months, even before this, Fabi and Natalia, even from NWA, they've had a little beef going on.
Yeah,
Even after the match, there was teeing off on each other
you
still.
seen that? Yeah, they was still referee had to separate him. Now I like that too. You know, you blend the realities of
Keep some more.
keeps it
I'm
more
happy we
real.
got to see Bloodsport Natty exposed to Natalia.
Mm-hmm.
We need this Natalia back on WWE.
Yeah, it's cool. But overall, I ask you fellas, what do you think about the match though? You know, the way that the
Oh
outcome
no,
of it was.
the match was good. It was just to me the I don't know if it's me not being trained to like Razor said seeing that in a few years, but there were the ref spots made it a bit weird. Like you legit kind of don't know almost if he like you said sped up to 3 at the end on purpose. Like, is he working with her? I don't know the story because I don't keep up with AAA. So just like as a not so smart viewer at that moment in time, I'm just but if it's saying that that's how it's supposed to go, like Razor said, then shout out to them. W, they got me, they worked me.
Yeah, for
I'm fucking
sure.
with it. W match. Cause I mean, like I didn't know who's the heel in this match, who's not. Like it, it kind of seemed like okay, Natty came in with like the tweener vibe, where she not the the baby face from
But
WWE. She the
she's new,
GCW.
so she's
Yeah.
automatically gonna get cheered. Uh, Fabi had just turned babyface, and she was punk with the ref, and Flammer was the heel.
And then
Her gimmick is actually the Lady Devil.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, I thought she was just on some Latina heat shit. Like you see the
Yeah, she was
flames, you
going.
know,
Yeah.
Lola Vice
No, that was
movements
supposed to
out
be
there.
She
sure
was
I'm
twerking a little
Terry.
bit. Yeah. Okay.
You feel me? Yeah. Okay, that's her war dance right there. That's her. Okay. But we had the last match of the night, right? And I look forward to this. Listen. I'm not mad at how it ended. It is what it is. But I just had hopes for Dom. I thought my boy right here. I thought he was gonna walk out champion. You know what I'm saying? The
Shout out to
greatest
Dirty Dom.
Mysterio.
Yeah,
You know what
shout
I'm
out to Dirty
saying?
Dom.
And for those of man I know, that little ear thing. We'll get to the match in a second, but that was just like telling Vikingo, "Hey, yeah, you got this, but who are they really fucking with?"
And that's kind of why I put this picture here so we can show Vikingo. This man got
Yeah,
booed, bro. Booed.
yeah.
Be
They're
and this is the
champion.
life we live, bro. This is what I
Hmm.
was just talking about the other day, us as fans, right? That baby face bullshit is like I hate to call it bullshit, but that's what it feels like when even when he did his moves. What's up, Moolah? I see you out there, bro. Even when he did his moves and he's putting his hand up in the air and cheering, it just felt cheesy at some points. Like
Yeah, for sure.
like yay, yay,
But but
like
every
We in
single one of his offensive moves to get abruptly booed. This man could have caught a newborn baby from falling. He still would have got booed.
Hey
bro.
man, Dirty Dom, man. He's got
And
it, bro. He's got it, man.
that and like the fans really started turning on him, or when he ran it back with Alberto.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they turning on him. Maybe it's
But 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 they was fucking with Dom, but they was also fucking with El Grande Americano.
oh yeah, for sure. His little promo, he's kind of had me rolling too. This man's really,
Even
money
Dragon
and
Lee
shit.
got some love. Like he might have to
Yeah.
shift over there. Like
Mm-hmm.
take the
What's up?
LWO out there. The LWO was getting some love out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
cause I don't know, Vikingo, like Razor was saying, the real heat behind that is him picking up the victory over Alberto Del Rio. So it's a little bit that Dom is there, sure, but I think he would have got the booze regardless. Like he's just facing that bad heat right now where like crowd ain't fucking with him as champion. And then just to skip forward through some things, you see AJ Styles come and cause Dom
Oh
towards the end of
yeah.
the match. As soon as the crowd starts to pick up on what's actually happening, boo! Bro, they went from cheering
Yep.
like, nah, boo,
They
oh,
said, "Hey, he's
no,
back.
hell no.
Fuck you."
Yeah, hell
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, nah, dog, like, nah.
Because
They
they
was
knew what
hyping.
time it was.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
seen him picking up the ref for Buddy. They like, nah, this is about to be the end.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, shout out to Vikingo on that. Was that a 630 he hits?
Yep.
Man, that motherfucker's pretty. That
Man.
motherfucker. Hey man, that
No,
630 is
listen, the
nasty,
dude
bro.
is gifted in the ring, bro.
For
Like,
sure.
I'm just like, I kind of feel the crowd on that though, because when ADR lost to him, most of us had speculation it's because of his standings within the WWE right now. Now,
Hmm.
that hasn't been confirmed to my knowledge, but whether that's true or not, it still rubbed people the wrong way, and it's starting to show. Like,
Yeah.
even
That's
across
right.
WWE programming, like that we didn't really notice that first day when they had him do the announcement. What was it at WrestleMania weekend, Razor, where him Rey Mysterio
Yeah.
were announcing? We didn't see no boos then yet because he hadn't won yet, right?
Well, he was coming. He was currently the champion.
That was the first time, right before the rematch,
No,
before.
no, no. So they made the announcement. He had just beat ADR for it, and then there were the after Worlds Collide was the rematch.
Right. So the crowd flipped on him.
Hmm.
Like, that's crazy. Streets, like the crowd flipped on him.
Nah, they really did, bro. But I mean, when
Which
you
is
got
again,
somebody again, it's just showing that the crowd, can do that. 1 minute they could be, straight for you, and the next, depending on who you're going against, they don't care. They want who they want.
right. In this
Same thing with
particular
the.
case, I understand it. Like, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go out on a limb and say I understand it.
it's the same thing with the Rock. Everybody loves the Rock, but when he was about to take over the spot for Cody, and it was gonna be him and Roman, they was booing like, nah, bro, we love you, but nah, we don't want that right now.
Yup.
You know what
And
I'm
it's
saying?
also to praise. I think the fans is praising ADR. That's their way to
Yeah, for
praise him because it's
facts.
like, for what I read, that programming was at a low, and Del Rio come back,
Came
and then they
back and
start
turned it up.
skyrocketing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, give them their proper respect, and sometimes you gotta iron it out. You're ironing it out with everybody else. Go ahead and do what you need to iron it out with ADR, man. Make it happen.
And
Get the
as we
people, get
learned
the people
before the
what they
main
want.
event started, during the Hall of Fame speech for Conan, there was a chant for Alberto, and Ray kind of perfectly timed says, "Give me a minute, I'll get to that."
Hmm.
Now,
Very
could that
smart.
have been perfectly timed? Did he hear it and respond to it? Time will tell.
I thought this was an interesting main event for a Triple Mania. Just to put like give the rapping thoughts right here. This shows to me that WWE has a great influence upon everybody they working with, which is the obvious. But I think if you're a fan of that said product, are you okay with this? That's my question to you. Are you okay with WWE throwing three of their superstars in the main event of your favorite programming? And that's what I'm gonna leave it at for a question for the community.
Well, not,
How
again,
y'all guys feeling about the rest of the show? What y'all got closing statements?
like we touched on, all but one match had WWE all over it.
Yep.
But I mean, I think that I don't think they're doing it in a malicious way. I think they're doing it in a positive way, as to say, hey, let's maybe put some more, superstars on your card, and help bring some of the attention from what we have going over here over to what you guys have. You know what I mean?
Now, so my little rebuttal to that, because I have said something prior to you coming in, was with, do you put these brands AAA, TNA, let's say you work with a Japan, do you keep positioning them where they're less important than the main brand? Because now here I say this, look, yes, you got Dom, you got Dragon Lee, you have El Grande Americano there, but Dom is the IC champion, so you got your heavyweight champion, your mega champion right here on the same. You saying they on the same level as an IC champion? Is that the right move going forward, or should like going forward it should be heavy hitters like the same person that you would see challenging for Seth Rollins should maybe be out there in AAA, or is that the wrong move?
I think it. I'll say this: it's tricky, and I think that if you was to add the main characters from the WWE over to AAA, it would just kind of be a WWE thing still. You know what I mean? It wouldn't necessarily be AAA and make it what it is. You know, those stars are larger than life, and you know we may think that, oh, you need somebody like a Seth Rollins, but maybe in their culture, to them, he's as big as a Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
and maybe, like you said, Dirty Dom to them is as big as a Roman Reigns, or somebody like that. So I don't think they're necessarily trying to big bro them. Obviously they're gonna be under them because they have more time and more prestige and more. You know what I mean?
So
Connections, but I don't think that maybe keeping them always up underneath the brand, like you'll never be as big. But I think that in their own sense, they may think that AAA is bigger than WWE over there, whereas over here
correct.
WWE may be bigger than AAA. You know what I'm saying? But over there, AAA may be bigger than WWE. So in
Cause
their eyes, so
the reason I asked, I was mentioning like as if it stands right now, NXT is the WWE's third brand, and they don't get
mhm.
watched enough as Raw and SmackDown. So, if you want to position these new partnerships, for the most part, we've seen TNA just strictly kind of been on NXT level plateau. We see AAA now getting a little effort where they getting main roster caliber players over there. But like to your point, they not the heavy like Dom is a heavy hitter and Grande
Exactly. Yeah.
Americano is their heavy hitter. Like
Yeah.
they see him as a player
Exactly.
over there.
And you got to think about luchador and the culture and everything that they're doing over with this pay-per-view, and trying to put it on a scale for the world. You don't want to change, you don't want to go too far away from the culture. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get too far away from the culture. Like, it's cool to have,
Luchadors and
yeah, you want to keep it lucha. So it's cool to have AJ come out. It's cool to have Omos come out. It's cool to have your boy Otis come out. Um, but again, I think they'll get to that, where they're bringing some of the big players, but I don't think that they'll have like all the heavy hitters that WWE has, because I think they'll kind of would, stray away from the culture. I think they want to keep it kind of, within the culture. Now, expanding, yeah, maybe, but I don't know if they'll ever be as big as the WWE is over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if AAA will be as big as WWE is in the States. Did you get me? You know what I'm saying? I
oh
think it'll be
yeah,
close, but I think that, again, AAA may be bigger than the WWE over in Mexico and other, places.
and I guess that might be something we have to dig into on another topic another day, where it's how effective or what's the end goal, what's the mission statement for some of these partnerships. If it's just nothing else than fire content, I'm for that too. But I'm also interested to see what it does for these promotions, these businesses involved. You feel me? Like I would like to see how this partnership is going. Like Conan said in his induction, he want to see it grow in 5 years. He want to see where this partnership goes. I don't want to see this just be like a pet
Facts.
project at WWE and they kind of get tired. And like I would like to think that this is going to be a good thing going forward, and hopefully we'll get introduction into the Japanese stuff with WWE. I know they're going out to Japan soon. You know what I'm saying? So you
It'll be real
know
fire.
we'll see, chat. Definitely see. We got Monday coming up, but I'm gonna be honest. I got another trip I gotta go to on Monday, so we might have to pull up on Friday for real. I gotta head out for another 4-day excursion.
He's getting the vacation days now.
Yeah, got to get it in with the family. Everybody understand that, right? For sure.
Yes,
For sure.
sir.
Well, shit, that's cool. We'll just, catch up on Friday. It gives us more to talk about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it gives them a chance to go back and watch anything else off the hip that they haven't watched. So go catch that for all you
What's up,
beautiful
man?
people out there.